Brewers and Ryan Braun, game 2 of the series. Braun, 3 hits and a home run last night in a 10-1 pounding of the Padres. And we're set to go here at beautiful Petco Park. Game 2 of the 3-game series. The San Diego Padres hosting the first place Milwaukee Brewers. And good evening, everyone. Dick Enberg along with Mark Swinney sitting in for Mark Grant, taking the week off. And we're looking forward to seeing the big right-hander, Tyson Ross, on the mound tonight.
Well, Dick, he's been outstanding, and you see the confidence with every single start. The last outing against the Dodgers, simply remarkable against Clayton Kershaw. But if you look at the month of July, 4-2 with a 1.10 ERA. Tyson Ross, since that All-Star game, is a different pitcher. He believes he can finish games. He understands the severity of going out there and being consistent as a pitcher. And I really believe it's the fastball movement that has been tremendous for Tyson Ross. He is picking his game up to another level.
The fastball complementing that wicked slider of Ross, who is in the elite when it comes to strikeouts and earned run average and opposing batting average. And he goes against a youngster tonight, Jimmy Nelson, right-hander for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, you go to this Brewers lineup. They can bash, and it starts right at the very top.
Well, did they look very good and very comfortable last night? And their leadoff hitter is the dynamic Carlos Gomez. He has flash, he has flair, and he has passion for the game of baseball. Whether you like it or hate it, he is a very good talent on both sides of the baseball, but offensively he can change a game with his swing. Very powerful, very aggressive, and he's a leadoff hitter, which you don't normally see that much.
Already in the 2020 club with over 20 home runs and over 20 stolen bases, had 3 hits last night, 2 singles and a double. So he is a true table setter. Can they cool down the Brewers tonight? Make them flat. Take the suds out of their big offensive game. We'll see how they plan to do that, the Padres, when we return to Petco.
Welcome back to Petco Park, Game 2 between the Padres and the Brewers, just about to get underway as the Padres try and even the series. It'll be Tyson Ross on the mound today, trying to look for his 13th consecutive quality start. His previous start against the Brewers this season, he gave up 5 earned runs on 9 hits, but he's certainly been a different pitcher this second half of the season. Rene Rivera behind the plate. We talked about watching last night's game and that offense for the Brewers, the aggressiveness, if it will change how he calls the game for Tyson today.
I don't think you change anything. I think you go the way you approach the other hitters. I mean, you gotta locate fastballs, you gotta locate breaking balls well. So I mean, you just go with your pitcher stuff and attack them.
And that's your Geico quote of the game. So Tyson Ross will try and pick up a W, even this series against the Brewers, and try and limit their aggressive offense. We got first pitch coming up from Petco Park here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Tyson Ross will toe the slab against this high-powered Milwaukee Brewers team, second in the National League in home runs. And let's take a look at Ron Renicki's starting lineup, brought to you by Mattress Discounters. Carlos Gomez, then Jonathan Lucroy, Ryan Braun, Aramis Ramirez. Scooter Gennett gets a start. He's in the 5th slot at second base. Chris Davis, 20 home runs on the year in left field. Mark Reynolds, another home run hitter with 21, hitting 7th. Then Gene Segura and the pitcher Jimmy Nelson.
Let's take a look at our scouting report from Tyson Ross, and you got to maintain that leadoff hitter control. Carlos Gomez, 3 for 5 last night, and also fastball aggressive, especially early in the game. Tyson Ross did that in his last start in L.A. Both sides of the plate with a lot of movement and velocity, and then go to that wipeout slider.
And he's going to have to keep the ball in the yard. These Brewers love to hit the long ball. 2 home runs last night. Here's the Padres defense, brought to you by the Aramco Group. Smith, Almonte in center, Liriano the rookie in right. Solarte and Amarista on the left side, Jerko and Grandal. Jerko returning to the lineup after a hamstring sat him down for a handful of games. And behind the plate, handling Tyson Ross tonight, Rene Rivera. 27-year-old from Oakland, California, House Berkeley. So much better than his record of 11 wins and 12 defeats. A few more runs along the way. He well could be up there with the leaders in the National League with 16 wins. Gomez gets it started, hitting .289, 21 homers for the leadoff man, and 64 runs batted in. Hard to do when you're leading off a game. And we're underway. The first pitch just misses at 95. First responders night this Tuesday in San Diego. Good to salute the men and women who are there in emergencies to be at our side and help us out of trouble.
See Carlos Gomez firing on that first slider. So we see a home plate umpire.
Alfonso Marquez calling the balls and strikes with Ripperger, Barrett, and Schreiber on the bases. 1-1 pitch. Challenged him and fired that 95-mile-an-hour heater right by the swing of Gomez.
A good sign of that fastball, especially with the movement. Going to watch that. If he locates it on both sides of the plate, could be a long night for the Brewers.
Another fastball misses wide. Gomez, then Lucroy and Braun, all three hitters .282 or above, all with at least 13 home runs.
I think that's the maturing of Tyson Ross. We saw that earlier in the season. That pitch would have been a slider no matter what. Now he's showing these hitters different looks. Fastballs on the edges makes it very difficult to sit on that slider.
All right. Padre Charger combo and a swing and a miss, strike three. Fastball working early for Tyson Ross.
Oh, what a good sign. Reaching back and being proud of that fastball. You see the downing movement with the fastball. Tyson Ross understands this is what the adjustments is going to be. Sitting on that slider, looking for that mistake slider. If you give that fastball, it has plenty of velocity behind it.
Gomez, the 171st strikeout victim, Tyson Ross, and here's catcher Jonathan Lucroy. Hitting .302. Ramirez cleanup .307. The fifth hitter, Jeanette, .309. Get out of my way, says Tyson Ross. You don't own the inside part of the plate any more than I do. I'm just setting my sights on that inside pitch. 2-0. Lucroy, the only regular last night without a hit, and he bends back from that pitch right down the middle.
They get me over 88-mile-an-hour slider, that power slider.
Product of the Ragin' Cajuns of the University of Louisiana Lafayette. 2-2 now the count. He's French, married a Cajun, and very active, as fans would appreciate, especially here in San Diego. Military charities, his cause. He'd fit right in with a Padre organization, wouldn't he? Ryan Braun on deck. Sounded fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it's got the popping of the glove, and you can see Rene Rivera very animated behind the plate, controlling Tyson Ross, tempering those emotions. What great chemistry they have put together all year long.
Lucroy walks more than any Brewer, and the count full. Fly ball right center. Almonte cruising into the gap to make the play. 2 away. And a look at the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Dick, as a big leaguer, you have to put things behind you. Last night's was not a good game for the Padres, to the benefit of the Brewers offense, and Tyson Ross has to deliver. After a loss, you need a closer, and Tyson Ross is that closer for Bud Black and his staff.
Ryan Braun greeted with boos as he's announced as the number 3 hitter. 17th home run of the season last night. He leads Milwaukee with those 74 runs batted in. Ooh, breaking ball had him bailing out. Strike one. Against Eric Stoltz, the slow curveball, he timed it perfectly.
He loves getting his hands extended. You'd see that he sped up the bat, but has that power to drive it to all fields.
Inside edge, 2 strikes the count.
Yeah, 2 sliders to Ryan Braun.
Foul back. Product of the San Fernando Valley, attended Granada Hills High School. He isn't the first famous athlete out of Granada Hills High School. John Elway also did his secondary education there. Then he goes all the way to the University of Miami for his collegiate career. Figure that one out. Maybe not. 2 strikes. In there, strike 3. A couple of strikeouts for Tyson Ross in a 1-2-3 first inning. He's been a strikeout pitcher all season long and shows his command early tonight. Looking at home plate, the beautiful span of the Coronado Bridge, Coronado Island off in the distance, and here on the turf of Petco Park, the starting lineup for the Padres brought to you by Toyota. Jan Solarte will start it with Abraham Almonte hitting second, then Seth Smith, the Padres leading hitter. The Cosmani Grandal, 1 home run behind Smith for the club lead with 11. Grandal. Then Jed Jerko, we welcome him back to the starting lineup. Rene Rivera, the catcher, bats 6th. Reimer Liriano in right. Alexi Amarista's been solid down at the bottom of the order, and Tyson Ross on the mound.
Well, Dick, let's take a look at the scouting report of this young 25-year-old Jimmy Nelson. 9th start for the Milwaukee Brewers. A lot of people are wondering if this is the star of the making. He was the top prospect by Baseball America coming into this season. Only a 2-pitch pitcher. You're going to see aggressive fastball and also a slider. A lot of sinking action on that fastball.
Got a taste of the big leagues, 4 games late last year. Now for Ron Renicky this season, 9th start of the year. Solarte leads it off and takes strike 1. 92 on his first fastball. Solarte, 281, a couple of hits last night and a walk. Pop fly off third. Ramirez squeezes the first down. Brings up Abraham Almonte, and a chance to introduce the Brewers defense, brought to you by Honda. They line up this way with Davis, Gomez, and Braun fanned out from left to right. Ramirez and Reynolds at the corners. Segura and Jeanette, the double play combo up the middle with Luke Croy behind the plate for Jimmy Nelson. Scooter Jeanette, you like this young player.
I do. He's a grinder. Gets after it. He's a platoon with Ricky Weeks, and that has worked very well for Ron Renicky and his staff.
Almonte squaring and taking ball 1. 296 mark since joining the Padres in just 17 games of action. There's a sinking fastball. Huh?
Yeah, and you see if Nelson gets on top of that fastball, we say it all the time for Tyson Ross, but when he gets on top of it, he has that late sinking action. It's very difficult for the Padre hitters to elevate tonight. Got to look for the ball up.
That ball is hit well to right field. That chases Braun to the warning path. Almonte will touch them all. Number 2 for Abraham Almonte, and the Padres score early.
Well, Dick, what a great swing down and in, and you see the location. Most left-handers love this. We haven't seen this from Almonte, but we know he has power, and especially that pull power. What a beautiful swing, approach. Gets the Padres on board, 1-0. Outstanding swing by Almonte. Yeah, the guys are loving that.
To the back wall of the Jack track. And here's Seth Smith. Well, I hope Chris Budden took Almonte tonight. We're all rooting for.
We want to hear mathematics.
She's going to go into trigonometry pretty soon.
She is.
Well, Almonte, number 2 on the season for the Padres. And an early 1-0 lead against Jimmy Nelson. Judging by the uniform of Nelson, already soaked with perspiration. He early lather. Fouled back by Seth Smith. It's 2-1.
Well, last time out against the Toronto Blue Jays did not feel very well. 9-5 defeat. Only 5 2/3. Gave up 9 hits, 2 walks, and he said he had to throw his off-speed pitch a little bit more. He falls in love with that fastball. And to Almonte, he takes that fastball out of the park. What a beautiful swing.
In there. 96 on that fastball. It's 2-2. There are the numbers against Toronto. And like the Milwaukee Brewers, a lot of home run power in that lineup up in Ontario. Struck him out. 2 away. They measured the home run at 381 feet for Almonte. And that'll bring up Yasmani Grandal. Final game of the 3-game series tomorrow. It's a 1 hour earlier. The start is 6:10. We'll be on the air at 5:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Espanye against Gallardo. Ball 1, too low.
Well, Dick, we talked about Nelson being a 2-pitch pitcher, but you watch those sliders, and especially that last one to Seth Smith. It's that backup slider that will give Padre hitters some problems. What it does, it rotates and just actually goes the other direction.
Grandal has enjoyed his best success this year, hitting as he is tonight left-handed. .217 is average left-handed, all 11 of his home runs. And all but 3 of his RBIs. More opportunity, of course, from the left side. 2-0. Ripped up the middle and into center field. Solid single. With 2 outs, Grandal aboard for Jed Churko.
Aggressive approach from the Padre hitters to this point. That's a good sign. Take a look at the Phantom Cam and the swing. That head is right down on the ball. You can see the vibration of the bat. A solid line drive through the middle of the field.
Ron Fowler with Peter Seidler, the ownership group, along with Commissioner Bud Selig. He's going to join us in the 3rd inning. He's been here all day. Making a ballpark tour. Kind of a nice farewell tour for the commissioner, who's been the head of Major League Baseball for 22 years and very proud of what he has accomplished. And we'll ask him some pertinent questions when he joins us, including how about an all-star game?
Yes.
In San Diego.
I want to see it.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Jerko. There's that slider. Jed trying to get his nose above the Mendoza line. Starts tonight at 199, but leads the club in RBIs with 44.
Yeah, they call that the interstate. You want to get off the interstate, I-99.
1-2.
Seen a better approach from Jed Jerko off the disabled list. Seeing him use the middle of the field, even the right center approach, but also the big grand slam. He's had some productive at bats, but coming off that hamstring strain, be interesting to see how he uses his lower half tonight.
Good take there. 2-2. Nelson's a big guy, 6'5" and 244, built like a football player. And indeed, he was a high school football star. His dad played collegiately at the University of Florida.
The Gators.
Also threw the shot and discus at the University of Florida. And he's from good genes. His mom, Deborah, played basketball at Florida State.
How about those conversations?
Yeah.
Florida State.
Yeah, that's an interesting marriage.
That's love.
2-2. Into the third base dugout.
Well, Dick, if you take a look at that last pitch, this is a backup slider. It actually goes the other direction. You think it's going to go down and away from Jed Jerko, and it stays just that rotation and goes towards Jed Jerko. It's going to be interesting to see. That's the mistake pitch. It's going to make a difference tonight.
Grandal, not a serious threat to be running, even though there are 2 outs. He's stolen a couple of bases all season, 2. And Tyson Ross has a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. And outside, full count to Jerko.
See Jimmy Nelson taking his time in between pitches, trying to find that rhythm. All these young pitchers that come up and adding to the pressures of the game really try to fight their mechanics, try to throw strikes.
Got him on the slider. A couple of strikeouts for Nelson to match the 2 punch outs by Tyson Ross. But Abraham Almonte answers Nelson with his second Padre home run. San Diego 1-0.
Abraham Almonte's solo home run put the Padres up 1-0 here in the top of the second. Rene Rivera behind the plate. And if you've ever taken a close look at his fingernails, you'll notice an orange color on them. It's not paint. It's actually stickers that he wears. Catchers will wear them maybe depending on uniform color, day or night. Rene wears them every single time. He says for him, it's about protection, knowing that his pitcher knows the count. Interesting because Yasmani Grandal does not wear them. You would think it would maybe be a preference to the pitcher, but it's actually the catcher. So every single time Renee's out there behind the plate, he was wearing those stickers, the bright orange neon on his fingernails.
Yeah, so iridescent orange, isn't it? High fly ball, shallow in center field. Almonte in to make the catch as Ramirez taken care of on one pitch. One of the hitting stars last night with 3 hits and a home run, Ramirez. Lowest catcher's ERA this season, a minimum of 60 games. So among the regular catchers, Rivera, 2.92 ERA.
Yeah, and you see that staple. Yadier Molina, in my estimation, is the best all-around catcher in the game today. And Rene Rivera on top of Yadier Molina, who is on the disabled list right now. Very, very impressive, and works tremendously hard behind the plate to work with the scouting reports of Darren Balsley.
Scooter Gennett, not a powerful looking guy at second base, but has 9 home runs, one of them against the Padres in Milwaukee early in April. Ricky Weeks not in the lineup tonight at second base. Gennett, a tough in-between hop, handled nicely by Grandal. 3 pitches, 2 outs. Gennett retired, and that'll bring up left fielder Chris Davis.
Well, we saw this side of Tyson Ross up in his last start in Los Angeles being very economical, and the reason for that, you're seeing early swings from the opposition. They do not want to get into that 2-strike count and look for that slider and be exposed.
Davis faced Ross earlier, went 2 for 3 with a home run. Strike 1, 95, an eased 95, so effortless.
Yeah, he looks like he's playing catch with Rene Rivera. Such a great thing to see when Tyson Ross gets in that mode.
We're seeing the 6th hitter in the starting lineup tonight for Milwaukee. You total their home runs so far this year, and it exceeds the Padres' total team home run total.
Yeah, you go to Milwaukee and you'll understand that's a nice hitter's ballpark. But these guys have intent, and you can see the swings of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Rockies, of course, that's a home run haven, Coors Field, and then Milwaukee and the Cubs with the familiar confines of Wrigley Field with 125. And for the first time, a 3-ball count for Tyson Ross.
Yep. You see Rene Rivera taking his mask up and making sure that he makes the proper adjustments.
Lucroy also count went full on him before he flied out. 3-1. Line to left field. There's the first hit for Milwaukee. Slider. And a 2-out hit for Davis.
Talk about playing catch, and Tyson Ross with that short stride gets on top of the baseball. You could see him with that downward plane that makes it very difficult for the hitters to recognize that slider. Along with that fastball velocity and movement, it's a tough task every single night.
So after a 10-run, 16-hit last night and a couple of home runs, what does Ron Renicky do? Put another home run hitter in the lineup, Mark Reynolds. His average low, he strikes out a lot, but when he connects, watch out. In fact, he's tied with Carlos Gomez for most home runs for the Brewers, even though he's had much fewer at-bats, only 346 with 21 homers. Chris Davis with 2 outs. Rust keeping a close eye. He has only 4 stolen bases. Power against power.
You see Reynolds will definitely leave the strike zone. He wants to get his hands extended. So you can see him getting a good stretch in.
High fly ball, left center, fairly shallow. Smith wants it, and takes it out in front of Almonte for the third out. 1.5. Padres lead by 1. One nothing. A game break and a pertinent game involving the Pirates and the Cardinals. That's Josh Harrison going deep for Pittsburgh on their way to a victory over St. Louis. The Cardinals a game and a half behind the Milwaukee Brewers going into today's play. And Harrison's 12th home run, part of the 5-2 victory. So Ron Renicki's team, should they win, can gain another half game and be 2.5 in front. They're all aware that Yadier Molina is going to come back in September, and that's going to make a big difference to the Cardinals' charge down the stretch.
It's going to be a big difference. I think Adam Wainwright, the ace of the St. Louis Cardinals, would love to have him back. He's pitched very well with Yadier behind there. But what a great race. We heard Mark Loretta talk about it last night. Could be 3 teams making the playoffs out of the Central.
Rene Rivera starts it for the Padres in the second against a team from Milwaukee that is feasted on the National League West. They are 20-7 against the NL Western teams and 10-1 on the road, including a 3-game sweep at Dodger Stadium a couple of weeks ago. Inside again.
See this last pitch. This is the sinker that gets away from Nelson. And for the hitter, just trying to get out of the way. For you youngsters out there, turn with your front shoulder into the plate on those pitches. Very scary when it gets into that head region.
Fouled off. Catcher, I believe, Lucroy. Commissioner Bud Selig, who was here today in San Diego, spent the afternoon at Petco Park, various ceremonies, Q&As, met the media. He'll join us in the booth in the upcoming inning. 2-1 to Rivera. Interesting follow through from Jimmy Nelson.
Exactly right. He actually falls off to the left side, that first base side, and then his arm comes a different direction. Wild in the strike zone.
Chop foul. Rivera, then Liriano, and Amarista for the Padres. 1-0 lead. Abraham Almonte going deep in the first inning.
There's that motion, that glove side. He falls off to that first base side. Then the arm comes over and goes towards that right-hander's batter's box.
And strike 3 called. Rivera thought he had ball 4. Plate umpire Alfonso Marquez saw it as a strike. Rivera doesn't agree. Might be saying, hey, I hope you'll give that one to my man Tyson Ross when he's on the mound.
Well, it's a late movement, and Lucroy ends up sticking it on the lot bottom part of the strike zone.
Third strikeout for Nelson. Brings up Reimer Liriano. .205 with one monster home run. Oh. He's up and in to another hitter.
Yeah, you see him, especially on that arm side. He's losing that ball because he's not getting on top of it. But Dick, you talked about Liriano taking some fastballs last night. This is perfect. It's a two-pitch pitcher. You really have to sell out on that fastball and be aggressive with that fastball.
He's taken a lot of those, just like that one.
And you sit there and you go back and you analyze your at-bats after the games. And if you're taking fastballs at this level like that one, it's going to be a long time. You have to be aggressive with the fastball so you make sure you get those mistake-breaking balls to hit.
Right back with a slider, and he's down in the count 1-2, Liriano. And this is where most of the pitchers, with the rookie up there, will try to get him to chase low and away. He doesn't bite. Slider. 2-2.
Dick, we talked about evaluating your at-bats. So many times you'll go after the game and you'll go on the result, the strikeout, the pop-up. But if you really analyze your at-bats, you're going to go back to that first strike that Liriano took, and it's that straight fastball. Those are the pitches that you have to be perfect mechanically on and aggressive on. And that's the adjustment moving forward for Liriano.
A veteran hitter, and Mark Loretta brought it up. He'd take a strike. Didn't mind even being down 2 strikes. It was that kind of confidence.
Yeah, and I think that comes with experience and maturity in the batter's box.
That's a good take there.
I'm not saying you have to hit every pitch. You have to have a plan, and especially your first at bat. You want to gain some knowledge for a guy that you haven't faced yet. Unless Liriano has faced Nelson in the minor leagues, you want to see it out of the pitcher's hand. So just moving forward, he has to be aggressive on that fastball.
Hard of the plate with that fastball, and he chipped it foul. Full count to Liriano. Alexi Amarista waiting his turn. Gradually raising his average up to 242, Amarista. Strike 3 call. Fastball. Another called strike 3. He gets both Rivera and Liriano on 3-2 pitches. 4 strikeouts in the first 5 outs. Time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SD fan photo. You'll have a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game telecast brought to you by AT&T. Amarista with 2 outs, bases empty. Takes ball 1. That was a good example. Falling off to the left, but dragging his arm back to the right.
Yeah, and he's losing it on that arm side. So if you're the Padre hitters, you're going to have to start looking that glove side because that's where he's been throwing the strikes. Now pick half of the plate and get after it. You saw Almonte do that in that down and in fastball.
Brewers on a good road season. They've won 5 in a row. And Amarista sends a high fly ball into left field, and in foul territory, Chris Davis makes the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres in the second. On to the third. We'll be visiting with Commissioner Bud Selig. Padres 1, Milwaukee 0. Well, a nice touch by the Padres management today after 22 years of outstanding service to baseball as its commissioner. Bud Selig honored here at Petco, the Selig Hall of Fame Plaza. That's out by the Western Metal Supply Company building. And congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a wonderful honor. Great surprise and a wonderful, wonderful honor.
Nice to have you in San Diego.
Nice to be here.
Sorry about the weather.
Yeah, this is tough. I just told both of you guys, if you have 2 nights a year like this in Milwaukee, it's a miracle. That's all I can tell you.
Somebody's got to live here.
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah, somebody has to endure this, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
The Padres 1-0 as we go to the third. Gene Segura, and then the pitcher Nelson and the leadoff hitter Gomez against Tyson Ross. Well, you've been barraged with questions all afternoon by the press, by even the members of the Padre family, and a nice Q&A earlier this afternoon. And of course, I guess the number one question is the All-Star game. Will it come to Petco soon?
Well, I'm going to do that, Dick, in the next couple of months, do All-Star games. But what I have said today, and I would say to both you gentlemen, that I like their chances a lot. That's all I can tell you. So I can't hint any more than that. And that's about all I can say. But they're going to get an All-Star.
And it'll be in my lifetime, I hope.
Oh yes, it will. Yeah, yes, it will. And hopefully, it will be in mine too.
That's right. Well, we're running about the same treadmill at this point.
That's exactly right. We're young, Dick, right?
Mr. Commissioner, talking about the All-Star game, Derek Jeter, what a great moment it was to see his last All-Star game. And you guys have really gone through the whole process together.
We have.
What's it meant for to have a Derek Jeter in the game of baseball? And is there somebody that can really fill his shoes? Because he's been extraordinary.
Well, time will tell. You know, that's interesting. And I've told Derek this. I've told his parents a lot. He loves to kid because he always says that he's fooled me, but he makes you proud to be the commissioner of baseball when you have a Derek Jeter. I mean, he's so good, and he's better off the field than he is on the field, and you know how great he is on the field. But it's been a pleasure. I saw him at the All-Star game, and we just hugged each other, and because I'm going to see him a couple of times in September. But I said to him, you know, Derek, been great. He says we're going out together, and I thanked him for what he's done. And he's just a remarkable human being, and you're proud when your great icon is that classy. So I'm a great Derek Jeter fan.
You could be talking about Mr. Padre Tony Gwynn with
those
remarks.
Thing. Absolutely the same thing. Absolutely the same thing. I was saddened by all that, and I remember I spent a lot of time with Tony at various places, and I know how beloved he was here, richly deserved, of course, and great sadness of his passing. But another guy who was great on the field, magnificent, but he was better off the field.
Yeah, and that's a quality that you're looking for in this game.
Certainly are. My goodness, you certainly are.
And one of the very first, you mentioned it today, and we salute your choice in honoring the great Jackie Robinson, retiring his number for all of baseball. At number 42 out on our hitter's backdrop.
Yeah, when you think back, Dick, you think of what Branch Rickey did, as I said today, and baseball's greatest and I think most powerful moment of bringing Jackie Robinson in the game in 1947, way before a lot of other things really happened.
That go through those. Those dates came after Jackie.
Yeah, well, what fascinates me as a history buff is Branch Rickey brings him, signs him in 45, goes to Montreal in 46, opens up April 15th, 47 in Ebbets Field. 3.5 years before Harry Truman desegregated the United States Army, 7 years before Brown versus Board of Education, and 18 years before the Civil Rights Movement.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. I give Branch Rickey all the credit in the world. It's vision, and you know he did it. There were a lot of people in baseball, quite candidly, that were against it. So, but he had the courage to do it, and he did it.
And Jackie went through hell to represent the African American.
He did. You know, I've talked to Rachel, his widow, and Sharon works for us, his daughter. I've spent hours talking to them, and very close. And the story she tells about 1947, 48, you wonder how a guy survived that.
Exactly.
We're going to lose you because the sitting's going quickly, and I know you have so many requests today. But the idea of parody, I know, has been prime in your 22 years.
You bet it has. I woke up 2 weeks ago, as you heard me say today, and all 3 National League divisions were tied.
Yeah.
And so here you got Oakland, and the races are phenomenal. The wild card races are better. And you got the kind of teams that couldn't win 15, 20 years, 10 years ago, maybe even 5. Kansas City in first place, Milwaukee in first place, Oakland virtually in first place. And that's why the game is as popular as it is and going through all the greatness it's going through right now.
And on retirement, what are you going to do?
I'm going to teach at 2 or 3 universities and write a book about my 50-some years in professional baseball, and I'm looking forward to it. Everybody asks me how will I feel next January 26th. Well, I'll let you all know on January 26th. Exactly. But I think I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Well, you made me a public promise today, as this one bounced to Ross in the inning, that when the Padres are in the World Series, you're going to come back to Petco. The 2 of us are going to sit in a booth, and we're going to go over the hitters.
I made your promise, and I'll be here with you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner.
Pleasure.
Congratulations on a great career.
See you. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be with both of you.
Stay healthy.
You too.
Petco Park. Sun setting out there in the west, providing that brilliant orange color. End of the day, Padres with a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 3rd, it'll be Tyson Ross, Jan Solarte, and the home run hitting Abraham Almonte against Jimmy Nelson in the 3rd inning. Well, the commissioner, we were with him for 3 other assignments today, Q&As and that sort of thing, and the comments from those that were there were interesting in that you don't see him quite so animated. I think the fact that he's finally retired, the weight's off his shoulders of being the leader of this great game, and he's having a lot of fun going around meeting the fans.
Well, if you think of it, it's a huge weight, and knowing now that his successor is in place too, I think has a lot to do with it. Rob Manfred has that connection with the Players Association. All that stuff is very important for him. And he understands now it's in good hands, and he loves where the direction of baseball is going.
Tyson Ross to lead it off. He's got 9 hits this year and takes ball 1. Well, he was kind enough to sit down with our Fox Sports San Diego cameras and do an extensive interview. And there are lots more to share. I asked him to look into the baseball as if it was a crystal ball. What did he see 10 years out? And we'll save that for a future answer. I know you're going to enjoy that interview. I guess they're going to use that in some of the post-game shows. And
well, that's gold for us. And the reason for it, I love the fact that it seems like we're going to see another All-Star game here at Petco Park. This is a beautiful facility that has to have an All-Star game. Who wouldn't want to come here in the middle of July for an All-Star Classic?
2-1, now 2-2. Well, I'm going to make a guess. He gave me no more information in our interview than he gave us here on the air tonight. Nice tease, however, it's going to be soon. I'm guessing that it'll be the 50th anniversary year, which is 2019. That'd be the ideal time to celebrate the franchise. Hey, how about that? A line drive into the right field corner. Tyson Ross, who can run, on his way to second and digging it out of the corner. The right fielder Braun, a leadoff double for Tyson Ross, his 10th hit of the year.
Now, Tyson Ross had a hit in his last start up in L.A. against Clayton Kershaw, and then he goes the other way. Short, quick stroke. And what a beautiful swing. And Ryan Braun has a tough time with it down the right field corner. Lead-off double for Tyson Ross.
His 10th hit of the season, his first extra base hit. Trying to help himself. Another lesson well learned. Nothing wrong with going the opposite way. Here's Solarte. High fly to deep left field. There's room out there for Davis. And unable to tag and advance is Tyson Ross. So one out. Abraham Almonte with a chance to add to his home run in the first inning. Pick up Ross from second with one out. Just to add to the ceremonies as they announced the Sea League Hall of Fame Plaza. The Honorable Mayor Kevin Faulkner was here. Supervisor Ron Roberts, well documented what a big baseball fan he is. Executive Chairman Ron Fowler. The ownership group, Mike D., the president. It's a nice affair. Nice touch. Now, you don't make everyone happy when you're the head of any organization. And as the commissioner of baseball, he has his detractors, but
of course,
you have to make tough calls. Most of them have helped the game. Fouled at the plate. I had some fun with him in the interview about the instant replay, which he defended. Of course,
he has to. That's one of his.
And I said, "Hey, I got this great idea. We could call them the Sea League clocks. 2 12-second clocks out there. The rules in there." So we had some fun chewing on that one. One strike to Almonte. Up high on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
It was interesting to hear Bud Black, the manager of the Padres, say that he's all in favor of the instant replay. Like to see some refinements, of course. I think everyone does, and I think baseball said that moving forward right at the beginning of the season.
That ball dropping into right center field, and Tyson Ross is on the run. He will score, and it's 2-0 Padres. Almonte delivers twice in 3 innings.
Now we talked about Nelson just being very wild in the strike zone, and you saw Almonte, his first at-bat, hit an absolute bomb. Then he pulls his hands in on this at-bat, and you could see the swing on our Phantom cam. It gets inside that barrel. He does a nice job pulling his hands in and hitting it to that right center gap, but I'm surprised that they wanted to work into Almonte after that first home run.
And Tyson Ross with a double and scores the second run. Brings up Seth Smith, struck out swinging the first time. Strike one.
And I can see Seth Smith now. He's looking for that middle in, that down and in pitch. About having a plan of attack at the plate. And Seth Smith consistently has a plan against every individual pitcher. I think that's what sets him apart from the rest of the Padre hitters.
And another strike as he pounds the inside corner at 95. Cheeseheads will be here throughout the series. They were here last night, again tomorrow. What's your favorite cheese?
Gouda. You like Gouda?
Yeah, I like Gouda. Chop to second. Jeanette with a flip, and it gets away. And holding there at second base is Almonte. Jeanette misguided that underhand toss to Segura, and everyone is safe.
Well, Scooter Gennett did not know what he wanted to do with this. He thought he had an opportunity to field it and tag Almonte. First, they were going to take the swing and gets on top of that pitch on the outside corner. It looked like Gennett thought he was going to be able to tag him and then has an awkward feed to Segura. Segura still has to hang in there and get the out.
And they're going to charge Segura with the error, not Gennett. Self-protective attempt to catch the ball. So first and second with one out to Yasmani Grandal. Single the first time up. Sharp single to center field.
Well, credit Almonte going in hard. An aggressive approach on the base pass. Talk about energy. That's exactly what we're talking about. Effort.
They play Grandal to pull in the infield and the outfield. And he pulls one deep to right field. That sends Braun back, and it's off the wall. Running all the way is Almonte. He will score. It's 3-0 Padres. Ringing single off the wall for Yasmani Grandal. Hit so hard and carry him back to Braun that Grandal no chance to make that a two-bagger.
Yeah, and you see the encouragement of Bud Black with Almonte. He set this up. Yasmani Grandal, what a beautiful swing. Down and in. He actually thought he got this one. This is an absolute laser off the right field wall. And as you said, Dick, it's a single, first and third for the Padres.
So the error pays off. An extra out here in the inning. Still only one away. First and third. Pitching coach Rick Krantz out to talk to young Nelson.
But I love seeing Bud Black stop Abraham Almonte before he went into the dugout to praise the effort. Take a look at this. Yeah, he gives him the high five. Then wait a minute. I love the way you play the game. Give him a little pat in the chest too. Yeah, love it.
Brings up Jerko. Tapped weakly to the right side. That'll get another run home as Jerko thrown out by Gennett. And Smith scores. It's 4-0. 45th RBI of the year for Jerko, the club leader. Sometimes you don't have to hit it hard. Just get it by the pitcher. So the extra out indeed pays off. That's an unearned run. And here's Rene Rivera. Rivera struck out, took a third strike on a 3-2 pitch, his first at bat. And a ground ball pulled to the shortstop Segura. Throw across, and he pulls the bag off the bag, but he's able to make the tag. Mark Reynolds had to leave the bag, but able to flag the glove down on Rivera for the out. Brought to you by Buick. Visit your local Buick dealer or go to Buick.com. By Petco, the power of together. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. With Mark Sweeney subbing for Mark Grant. Grant on assignment.
We miss Mud.
Mark Loretta, Chris Budden, this is Dick Enberg. Pleased you've joined us through 3 innings. The Padres 4 runs on 5 hits. The Brewers no runs and 1 hit. Jonathan Lucroy will lead it off in the 4th for the Brew Crew. He flied to center his first time. And back and away.
You go back to that bottom of the 3rd, and you understand what people are talking about energy and playing the game right, especially after a game like last night. And coming through with some energy and scoring early runs for Tyson Ross tonight.
Strike 2. Another slider. Lucroy, Braun, and Ramirez, 3 tough hitters here in the top of the 4th. Two of the runs in the last of the 3rd unearned because of the error at shortstop by Segura and a potential force out. Nothing like that 4th out in an inning. 1-2.
Mark Loretta down near the dugout. You saw the effort by Almonte sliding into second base. You saw Segura leave his position. How tough is that as a middle infielder when that runner is bearing down on you?
That's very tough, no question about it. I mean, he pulled out there a little bit early, but that's a tough play when the runner's coming in, the ball's coming at the same time.
Initially, I think Scooter thought he might make the tag of the runner, and then when the runner got by him, and he had to make that long underhand toss.
Yeah, that's always a little bit of a difficult read, whether you tag the guy or flip it over. I always like to go with the tag if I could. It just get that sure out, not have that flip.
And Almonte, it's a lot of manpower coming at you. And Lucroy has his first hit of the series as he drops that one just inside the line. Liriano can't make the play, gets away, so Lucroy turns second, goes all the way to 3rd. Had Liriano fielded it cleanly with his arm, I was looking forward to seeing how Lucroy would fare going to second on the play, but in his haste to make the play, it got away from him. And on to 3rd, Lucroy.
Well, we get blocked out, but you can see the swing by Lucroy. Nice approach going the other way. See Liriano going down. Looks like the ball hit the pad right at the same time when he was entering. It gets by him. For the right fielder, he hasn't played too many games here at Petco Park. You got to know how to play those caroms.
So Lucroy on a double, and the air by Liriano and right is at 3rd with no one out for Ryan Braun, who struck out, took a 3rd strike, his first at bat. Infield back will give up a run for an out.
Yeah, a lot of sliders to Braun last time.
High fastball. Ramirez on deck. Braun leads the team with 74 RBIs, and with runners in scoring position, solid. Ooh, that's a great stop by Rivera. That saved a run. Backhanded pickup.
Watch Rene Rivera, the glove work of Rene Rivera, just picking this out of the dirt, trying to sell that it's a pass ball.
A ball and a strike. Now those catchers' mitts are a bit bigger and more flexible than you go back a couple of decades. There was a pocket and a little webbing. Nevertheless, when you consider the leather that the other 8 positions have. And then you get a catcher making plays like that.
Yeah.
You take them for granted.
A very athletic play by Rene Rivera. They're trying to get back on the same page. It looks like Tyson Ross has been missing location.
He yanked that last fastball. 1-2 the count. Braun last night against Eric Stoltz. A slow curveball and deposited over the left center field wall. Number 17 on the season.
Well, Ryan Braun has been exposed to getting out of the strike zone this year, more so than years past.
Let's go back to Luke Croy's double. It's significant because as a catcher, now he has 44 doubles on the season, but as a catcher, 37. And he's closing in on both the Major League and the National League record in most doubles by a catcher. 37 leaves him only 7 shy of Yadier Molina's 44, the National League record, and only 9 shy of Pudge Rodriguez, Major League record. Fouled at the plate. They describe him as a doubles machine.
Yeah, a tremendous year, as you see the leaders right there for Major League Baseball. Started the All-Star game. He's had a tremendous year, both offensively and catching this pitching staff, the confidence that they have. It's a big difference.
Ross ahead on the count to Braun, 1-2. He yanks that fastball, 2-2. 55 pitches and no one out in the 4th inning. Got him. Low fastball at 96.
Well, you see the location for Tyson Ross going both sides of the plate, and then that turbo sinker down and in gave Ryan Braun some fits that at bat.
So 1 out, and Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman, fly to center his first at bat. 61 runs batted in, knocked in 3 last night with a single, double, and home run. And he chases that slider, strike 1. Time now for the top tier player profile. It's brought to you by Arco. Ramirez on the road, the leading batting average in the National League at .339. Oh, that's even better than that. The Major League leader. Hit Posey, Cano, Martinez, and Gillespie.
You think about how many hitters have problems going into hostile environments, and he loves it. He embraces it.
And strike 2.
It's 2 great sliders, probably the best sliders he's thrown tonight. In a big situation, he's put himself in to try to strike him out in this situation.
2,163 career hits. He's been a solid hitter all of his professional life. 368 of those hits home runs. Got him. 3 sliders. I don't think any of the 3 in the strike zone. 4 strikeouts on the night. So with a man at third, no one out, Ross bears down, strikes out Braun, fans Ramirez.
Yeah, exactly right, Dick. None of the sliders were strikes, all out of the strike zone. A nice job by Rene Rivera in the dirt.
Time for the Saquon Casino Daycation statistic. The National League leaders, most strikeouts this year. Strasburg leading the way at 202. 5th most, Kennedy, 174. And Ross with 4 tonight. He has 174. Scooter Gennett grounded to first in the 2nd inning. Swing and a miss.
Down next to the dugout, Mark Loretta, your impressions of Tyson Ross and maturing in the game.
Yeah, we touched it on the pregame show a little bit. He has confidence throwing that slider even in the count and even behind in the count. But you see those sliders, even though they end up out of the strike zone, out of the hand, they look like strikes. That's why you see these guys wailing at them.
Fly ball to right center. That's hit well. A long run for Almonte. He can't get there. And the ball bounces over the fence into the beach. A ground rule double. So Jeanette, after Ross had struck out 2 men to leave LaCroix at third, Jeanette drives it in with a long double to right center. It's 4-1.
Well, you talk about a big hit. Scooter Jeanette squares this ball up, especially in that right center gap. This little man has a lot of pop in that bat. Like you said, Dick, 9 home runs on the season, but that's a huge double for the Brewers.
The little kids applauding the big guy getting the ball. The sandbox. Here's Chris Davis. He singled the first time up. Another good stop. Reaching out backhanded. Rivera. Jeanette, you know, he's got 46 runs batted in.
And a lot of people, I talked to a lot of the Brewers people, and they said David Eckstein, he reminds, with a little bit of power. All the Padre fans understand what David Eckstein did to the top of the order and being a pest in the batter's box.
2-0 now to Chris Davis. Foul tip. Big swing by Davis. The Padres lead. The Brewers scoring here in the top of the 4th. Jeanette out at second, and that pitch low. The throw through to second base, and Jerko making a good stop on a low throw. And it's 3-1 to Davis. Jeanette came up last year, hit .324, 213 at bats, showed the Brewers that he belongs in the big time. And hitting over 300 this year, 309 coming in. So they have an abundance of talent at second base with Ricky Weeks also at that position. All the way to the screen, and Jeanette to third on ball 4, or that might have hit Davis. I believe it is. Hit by pitch. If he did, then Jeanette has to go back to second base. Maybe it didn't hit him.
It's hard to tell. It actually sounded like he got hit. But with Jeanette still on third base, that tells me it was just ball 4.
Aaron Balsley out to try to settle down Tyson Ross, who had been cruising along, and with a 4-0 lead, gave up the leadoff double to Lucroy, struck out Braun and Ramirez. But Jeanette doubles to right center to make it 4-1, and now Davis with a walk. On the wild pitch, Jeanette goes to third. First walk from Tyson. And that brings up home run hitting Mark Reynolds, representing the tying run. He flied to left field his first time.
With the leadoff double and then the error in right field, if he gets out of this with just 1 run, that is a huge accomplishment. Darren Balsley just wanted to remind him, just make a pitch here. Focus on what your scouting report is and lock it in.
Goes off speed with a slider and has Reynolds out in front. Slider, 0-2.
You see Mark Reynolds taking those flailing sliders. It probably reminds you a lot of Brewers fans to see this slider from Tyson Ross. As a former Brewer, Rob Deere, a lot of power, a lot of swings and misses.
Yeah, Reynolds holds the major league record, most strikeouts in a season. As the runner goes, and Rivera's going to throw to second and nails him. Chris Davis didn't think that Rene Rivera would go through the second base, and Rivera, who's been throwing brilliantly, has nailed another runner, and so ends the Brewers' fourth inning.
Tonight we're focusing on the toe tap, and we're going to go to former Atlanta Brave Chipper Jones. And watch that front foot. This is timing mechanism, but also having balance in your swing, your approach. And you take a look at that front foot, tap, and then stride, and it's a balance that he can drive that back leg through that front foot to provide that power, and then the bat comes through and the power swing. This is a switch hitter that did it from both sides, but the toe tap from the left side gave him that balance and approach that everyone loved to watch.
Did you use that?
I did not. It was just one of those timing mechanisms that was really difficult to get, but it's one of those things that you look at the Angels now. Josh Hamilton has really incorporated that back into his style, and he's benefited from it the last couple of weeks.
Reimer Liriano leads off the Padre fourth. San Diego 4-1.
Mark Loretta down near the dugout. You didn't use the toe tap, did you?
I didn't. I always wanted to because it looked so cool. But I couldn't pull it off. I the balance of it. Although when I was really struggling a couple times, I messed around with it in the cage, but I never took it in the game with me.
Well, when you matriculated Northwestern, you have to sign off, I don't want to be cool.
Exactly.
I'm a big tenor. I don't have to be cool.
I wasn't good enough to be cool.
Yeah.
No, you were plenty good enough. But you had a simple approach, and I think there's different type of styles that you can incorporate out there that really work to gain balance in the batter's box.
Yeah, for me it was about getting my foot down in time. I'd rather be early with my stride than late. And I think the toe tap, I guess for those guys who use it, enables them to sort of be early rather than late.
Liriano, it just seems every time he's in that batter's box, he's looking at an 0-2 pitch. Inside. 4-1 Padres, a couple of unearned runs for San Diego in the third. Ian Kennedy going over the hitters with Coach Balsley. Kennedy will get an assignment against the Dodgers this weekend. Swing and a miss, and Liriano struck out for the second time. 5 strikeouts for Jimmy Nelson. Brings up Alexi Amarista. University of Alabama Crimson Tide. Jimmy Nelson His home is in Niceville, Florida. I wonder if the people are nice in Niceville.
Oh, they sound really nice.
Amarista fouled out. Left fielder Davis first time. Ball one.
You know who lived in Niceville?
Who?
Dave Roberts, the bench coach for the Padres.
No way.
He is Niceville.
Oh, right. He could be mayor of Niceville.
Yes, he could. One of the nicest human beings out there.
That one fouled off, hit one of the guy wires holding up the backstop screen.
I'd hate to see what Nelson's jersey would look like in Niceville. It's much more humid there than it is here. He's sweating profusely.
Yeah, he was lathered up before the first pitch.
His bench coach, Dave Roberts.
1-1. You can see that Phantom cam. Look at that. That's perspiration off the arm and shoulder. Niceville's Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah, it must be a lucky shirt. Time to try the different dry fit that's in your locker.
Strike on the inside corner levels the count.
Well, he's getting a lot of movement on that glove side. Seeing a lot of stares back at the umpire for Alexi Amarista. And if you're watching the game, you can't give up on that pitch. You see from our Fox Track Southland technology, that's right on the corner.
Check swing, and it's high. Full count. Get a close-up of the cap of Jimmy Nelson in a moment. Kind of a subtle way in which the Brewers celebrate the heritage in a city known for its breweries and the fact that Miller is a sponsor. When you look at the cap, and they subtly have included a little spear of barley as the underlining member of the M. That little yellow underline is the barley of the beer. Foul. That one got catcher Lucro. So you got the M for Milwaukee, and then the barley, reminding you that it's okay to have a suds now and then.
That's a sweet hat. And they also go the old school too. They use the old school uniforms, always signifying a piece of your city. Mark Loretta wore that Brewers uniform for many years.
So
how was your time there?
Oh yeah, I love Milwaukee. You kidding me? It was great. But little game behind the game there. So, Dick, when you said cap, our man here at Taliano thought you said calf, and that's why he was showing Jimmy Nelson's calf.
Hey, there's your
but
numbers.
He rarely makes mistakes. So.
Well, there's your numbers in the Brewers uniform. That is absolutely solid.
What was it? I missed it.
289.
Oh, my.
32 bombs.
Yeah.
Hubba hubba.
29 bombs. I'm sorry. I got excited. I saw.
Could use that 10 extra.
I saw the 3 BP bombs that you hit too.
Foul tip, and it escapes Lucroy's glove, and he's still alive, Amarista.
Yeah, we had good times in Milwaukee, didn't we, Mark Sweeney?
It was a great time in Milwaukee. They were so much fun to be there. We were there for Davey Lopes' first managerial exploits, which didn't go too well.
Hit well to center field. That jumped off the bat of Amarista, but Gomez able to get back and make the catch. Well, I have to second the motion because my good friend Al McGuire took me on many a tour of Milwaukee, and getting into Al wanted to go where no one else would go. You know, with there's only paper napkins. If there's linen, you don't eat them.
No.
So you'd go out into the neighborhoods, and there's a pub on almost every corner, and they'd serve some kind of food, something with it, as Al said, that made my stomach angry. Then we'd go in there.
After those sarsaparillas, does it matter what kind of food you have?
He wasn't much of a consumer. We'd libate on beer, but I ate some things that I normally wouldn't have ordered. But with Al there, I had to make the coach happy.
Definitely.
And what I like about Milwaukee, in the summertime, they have all those ethnic festivals.
Yes.
Every weekend, it's a German one week, the French another week, Spanish another, Portuguese. I mean, it's nice, and they have the music, the food, the culture that makes Milwaukee famous. Ross doubled his first time and scored the second run of the game. Of course, the ball players don't get a chance to enjoy. Usually they're playing on a Sunday.
Yeah. Tough to get to those festivals when you got a game.
Ross earning the respect of Jimmy Nelson. Works the count to 3-1. And ball 4. He's on again. That's the first walk from the Milwaukee right-hander. And if we're going to talk about Milwaukee, you've got to mention the Grand Dame, the Hotel Pfister. Ghosts or no ghosts, that's a great, great hotel.
Love the Pfister. Almost every team stays at the Pfister down in downtown Milwaukee. Has history. And yeah, I love telling those ghost stories.
and some of the tricks that have been played on ball players.
Oh, yeah.
Make them believe there's someone else in the room. There's Bernie Brewer hat. There's a new one. Gets away, but no advance by Ross. Lucroy didn't know where the ball was. I think that might have hit the umpire and carried him away. So Ross slap his side as if to say, "Doggone it, I could have made second base." Not quite sure what logo that is. Is that a junior Bernie Brewer? 1-0 to Solarte. Oh, take a swing.
Yeah, that was a big swing. He was looking middle in.
Fouled to third and fly to left. So Solarte's gone the opposite way, both at bats.
I like that type of approach. And get after it. 2 outs, guy on first. You got to drive the baseball.
At the letters, inside corner, 1-2. And he gets him swinging on a slider. 4 innings in the book. Padres 4, Milwaukee 1.
We talked about the leg kick of Seth Smith, just a different way to drive your legs and use that power element. Watch that front leg come up as a leg kick, and then he gets up into that power position and then transfers his weight on his lower half, gets that foot down, then the barrel comes through. That's a home run in Minnesota that's driven through the zone. Now on the right, you go back to Chipper Jones, a toe tap. And what he's doing is that front foot is enabling himself to gather and then stride and use that lower half to drive that back knee into the front side. The barrel comes through. And another way of using your lower half to develop that power. Two different styles, but both work. And Seth Smith for the Padres have a tremendous year, especially in the power department.
Top of the 5th inning. Mark Loretta's with us. Which of those two examples best fit your style, Mark?
The Seth Smith example, for sure. Yeah, I was not a toe tap guy, as we said, and I had a relatively large leg kick, but for me it was about getting it down early enough and not drifting too far forward.
Mark Reynolds was up when the last inning ended, and Chris Davis tried to advance to second base on a steal and was thrown out by Rivera. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reynolds, Segura, the pitcher Nelson scheduled here in the 5th. High fly ball. He just missed that one. Way up into the night. Smith finally came down.
I want to talk about a big league pop-up, guys. That was unbelievable. You saw the smile from Seth Smith, who's not quick to smile.
Well, you go back to that last inning, I think doing the little things, and you see Rene Rivera taking a peek at the runner, then throwing an absolute gun to catch the runner at second base for the 3rd out. This was very important because it got him out of the inning, got Tyson Ross out of there, throwing a lot of pitches, and doing the little things by Rene Rivera with that runner on third base. Tremendous effort.
Laser shot to second to Jerko, trying to bunt his way on Segura, and that's foul. Now, what happened to Gene Segura last year as a rookie? At the same time of the season, he was hitting .312. 12 home runs. This year, hitting .234 and only 4 homers.
And Dick, a lot of people were talking about them extending him.
There it is.
Which we see a lot. We see the numbers, the different numbers. I think it has a lot to do with the confidence, Gene Segura.
That the sophomore jinx. Ground ball. No sooner you talk about base hits and he delivers one. Not hit hard, but good direction as he trickled that one up the middle for the 4th hit of the night.
There's been a couple times that Ron Renicky, the manager of Milwaukee, has had to sit Segura. And coming into this series, he sat down twice, and they had to have a conversation about the concentration level he was bringing to the game.
But didn't he go through a personal tragedy earlier this year?
He did, and that's something that I think is always on his mind. And easily, no one knows what happens off the field with a lot of these hitters and how they deal with the emotions of off the field tragedy. But Ron Renicky understood that he needed him to be at a better level, especially playing that premium position as shortstop.
And players, like all the rest of us, aren't immune to tragedy and heartbreak, and you can't always leave that outside the clubhouse door. Kind of a habit. We all say, hey, how are you doing? And everyone says, I'm fine.
Yeah.
A lot of times it isn't fine.
Well, this is a release for a lot of people, too. They've gone through problems off the field.
Nelson bunts that foul, and the count 1-1. Hit the ball to right fielder Liriano the first time. As a big leaguer, he's 3 for 17. Four to 1 Padres here in the top of the 5th. There he goes. Runner goes, and the ball bunted foul. Segura would have had second base stolen. Had a huge jump. Comes back with a count now 1-2 to the pitcher Nelson.
Mark Loretta, you've been around a lot of young players in the game, and Gene Segura obviously is very talented, but what do you do for younger players in the game who've had a tremendous year and then they go through that slumping phase? What advice would you give them?
That's interesting, Sweens, because you see that around the league quite a bit. I mean, even Jed Jerko has been struggling with that a little bit in his second year. Jason Kipnis, another guy who that happened to in the American League with the Indians. I'm not sure what the answer is. There's probably a lot of reasons for it.
5th strikeout as Pitcher Nelson unable to sacrifice, 2 away.
I think it's the adjustments to the league makes to you. So you got to make adjustments. And I think also players are getting to the big leagues quicker and quicker with less minor league experience.
Great point.
And I think that instead of having 300 or 400 or 500 at bats in Double or Triple A, these guys are having 100 or 50, and it's just it's a different. They're learning at the big league level how to struggle and how to get through it.
Segura, Bears watching. He has 16 stolen bases. Here's Gomez, struck out and tapped to the mound. How many years were you in the minors, Mark? Loretta?
About 2.5, Dick. But I signed as a college senior, so I had already, I was almost 22 when I signed. I was fortunate to be drafted by the Brewers and come up through a system where they were promoting from within quite often.
Well, and earning that too, and having that, being 22 years old and drafted, you had the experience already from your college season, and the reason why you came up to the big league level is because you did everything well across the board. And I think you're seeing that now, where there's plenty of talent in the game, but they lack just the mechanics. And
Segura goes, big jump. Rivera's throw is in time. Another great throw by Rivera. Oh my! 2 for 2. Rene Rivera. Beware opposing runners. The man has a gunshot arm. We're at the halfway mark. 4-1 San Diego.
Welcome back to San Diego. If you've been to this city much, you know about Taco Tuesday. And here at Petco Park, they have their own version. For just $1, you can get a street taco. So you can just imagine at $1 a piece how many they go through every Tuesday. Depending on the size of the crowd, 15 to 30,000 tacos a day. And then the fact that I find the most interesting, hot sauce. You want to know how much they go through? A gallon of Cholula hot sauce every game. 100 gallons of them. In the words of Mark Sweeney, I'm going to steal your tagline. Now that's hot sauce.
Hey, Chris, your Christmas gift is secure. You're going to get a gallon of that Cholula hot sauce.
I like it. Padre fans like their tacos spicy.
Hey, do you know where we can find fish tacos?
Oh, I'm sure there's someplace here at Petco Park that, there's all kinds of wonderful eateries here.
Oh, there you go. I got it. I know where I can get fish tacos.
Why don't you run down there and get us a couple?
That's hot sauce.
Abraham Almonte put his signature on this game with a home run and an RBI single. And scored 2 runs. Driving into and scoring 2 for the Padres center fielder. 2-0. That one just missing. Let's go to the Cholula flamethrower. Well, Nelson up to 96.
Wow. Chris Budden, that is hot sauce. 96.
3-0. I wonder if they're using some of Yoder's nuclear chilies out there in the
That
bullpen.
could be difficult. You a hot sauce guy?
I like a little bit, yeah. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, and Almonte's aboard again. Second walk from Nelson. But my two favorite, I guess they're both would be categorized as spices. There's the chili farm. They got all kinds out there, I'll tell you, and some that you don't even dare come close to. My favorite taste, I guess, are mustard. I like anything with mustard, especially salad dressing. And I love cinnamon.
I love cinnamon too. Right there with you.
Just like even the smell of cinnamon.
I'm a ketchup guy.
Yeah. Not much on ketchup. I had an uncle, believe it or not, would put ketchup on vanilla ice cream.
Oh, I'm not that guy.
So that kind of turned me off a little bit.
That'll change the game a little bit.
They got some nice tomatoes out there in the bullpen farm as well. Marco Estrada. He's been sent to the bullpen, starter earlier in the year, but gave up a lot of home runs. In fact, leads the National League in most home runs. 0-2 to Smith. Struck out and safe on an error and scored in the third. Estrada warming up. 28 home runs he's allowed this year.
And 130 innings. It's the reason why he's in the bullpen, to bridge the gap to those Ron Renickes.
And Smith, for the second time tonight, strikes out. 6 punch outs for Jimmy Nelson. I think that's 7. And Yasmani Grandal, along with Almonte, having a good night. He's 2 for 2. A couple of singles and an RBI.
Well, let's see if Almonte takes a chance. Jimmy Nelson is like 1-3, 1-3-5 to home plate. There he goes.
Taken, and the throw by Lucroy, not even close, gets away, but not far enough for an advance as Jeanette covers the ball out in shallow center field.
Yeah, I like this. Take out the good jump by Almonte and an aggressive slide into second base.
He had 3 steals with the Mariners. That's his first as a Padre.
Mark Sweeney, nice call right there. Do you have Glenn Hoffman's signs?
No, I do not.
Unbelievable. What anticipation. Speaking of ketchup.
Yeah, he hit my head, and then he anticipated the steal. No ketchup.
Was there a commercial? Anticipation.
Yeah, I love that. Not the way you're singing, but I love that.
I'm tone deaf. Absolutely. But I'm not afraid. Killing Italiano out here.
Bold is good. 1 strike to Grandal. Up high. Another nice turnout on this Tuesday night, honoring our first responders. 19 games left here at Petco Park, counting tonight. That looks like they're about to go to a square dance after the game. Do when you get home, swing your own. Two and 1 to Grandal. Almonte with his lead at second base, 1 out. Boy, that looked pretty good. That seemed to fool everyone.
Looked like Lucroy lost that pitch. He went down to his right knee.
Might have taken a strike away from Nelson. 3-1.
And looking dead red in this situation.
Glenn Hoffman helping Almighty to get back as Segura ducks in behind it. Couldn't pull the trigger. 3-2.
Yeah, I think he was looking middle in too.
Pittsburgh beating St. Louis tonight. St. Louis starting a game and a half behind Milwaukee. Out of play. Philadelphia at home edges Washington. Trying to cool down the Nationals, who have been the hottest team in baseball here in August.
Now you see, Dick, right up here, the shortstop Segura right behind second base, trying to hold Almonte close to second base. An RBI situation. Also with the pull hitter Grandal, probably his positioning as well.
One out, full count on Grandal, who's 2 for 2 tonight. Foul back toward us. Padres have had good success against the Brewers since they moved to Petco Park. 10 series, they won 7, split another, lost only 2 series. Overall, a 19-12 record, including last night. And they leveled the series with a win tonight. High fly ball down the right field corner. It's hooking into the corner. Braun is there and out of play. Tough at bat. Grandal. 9th pitch of the at bat coming up.
That was the 90th pitch by Jimmy Nelson, only in the 5th inning with 1 out. It's a lot of pitches. You could see from the sweat.
He won't be 244 when he hits the Toledos tonight. Another foul.
Watch out, Lowe.
Jeez. Come on, charge those.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Got to have it. I would have had it. Took a bad hop on me. I was right there.
Coming in hot. Yeah, right off this camera right here.
Hair lip.
Finally, a pop-up, middle of the infield. Segura. 2 away, and the hitter will be Jed Jerko. Well, each month, Fox Sports San Diego is honored to provide trips to Padres games on the Fox Sports San Diego Fan Express to members of our armed forces and their families directly from local military bases. This month's military base trip welcomes Marines and families from Camp Pendleton. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com. Jerko with an RBI and a ground out his last time, his 45th of the year. And he hits this one well, center field, but Gomez right there to make the catch. Off the bat, looked like it had a chance, but dies out in center field, and we've completed 5. Summary, Abraham Almonte gave the Padres a 1-0 lead in the first inning with his second home run of the season. Dumps a single in right field in the third, brings home Tyson Ross, who had doubled, and Grandal singles off the right field wall to knock in another run in the third inning. And Padres scored 2 unearned, and Jerko makes it a 4-0 game with a ground ball out, scoring Smith. Scooter Gennett followed a double by Jonathan Lucroy to knock in the only Milwaukee run. That's where we stand, 4-1, our Harrah's game summary.
And that young man has done a tremendous job tonight, doing on all ends. 2 hits, a walk, a stolen base. Tyson Ross, you see the night for him. The last time, this is a big inning for him right here.
Looking for another quality start. A quality start, most of you know, 6 innings, allowing 3 runs or less. Ross has gone 12 consecutive quality starts, an all-time Padre record, trying to make it 13. Top of the order, Gomez leads it off. And quickly Ross ahead, 2 strikes. So Ross, with his 12 in a row, has wiped several names off the book, including Cashner, not the Dave Roberts that coaches the Padres. That's the pitcher, Dave Roberts, McIntosh, Gaylord Perry, Rasmussen, and Whitson, all with 11 consecutive quality starts. And Gomez can't find the slider. Strike 3. 6 strikeouts now for Tyson Ross.
You see the wipeout slider, and he threw all sliders to Gomez this at bat. That is just a lot of respect, and you can see, tip your cap.
Wicked.
It's happened to a lot of people.
Jonathan Lucroy doubled just inside the right field line and scored the Milwaukee run in the 4th.
Mark Loretta down near the dugout for Tyson Ross is seeing a lot more fastballs tonight, setting up that slider. Sometimes we've seen him really throw too many of those sliders, in my opinion.
Shallow fly and right. Liriano has a beat on it. 2 away.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mark Sweeney. You don't want the slider to take away from your bread and butter, which is his good fastball, the fastball that runs in hard at 94, 90 to 96. And I think sometimes if that slider is working so well, you can go to it too often. And I think actually when Gennett got that big 2-out hit, it was the 3rd or 4th slider in a row, and he hung that one a little bit for the double. But other than that, he's been pretty solid.
2 outs to Ryan Braun. Braun hasn't figured out Ross in his 2 at-bats. Took a 3rd strike and a swinging 3rd strike in the 4th inning. He got 3 straight sliders. And he opens with a fastball here inside. And 1 more out. And at least it would qualify for a quality start. But Ross hopes to go more than 6 innings.
Well, he's breaking out that nasty slider this inning. See him getting on top of that slider and the depth of it. Like Mark Loretta talked about earlier, you see it out of the hands, and it looks like that fastball look just drops off the table.
Chop to the right side. Ross covers. Grandal flips to him for the out on 1-2-3 6th inning. And Tyson Ross again shows why he is a premier pitcher for the San Diego Padres. Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Saquon. Real friendly, real close. By Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo, just $4.99 plus tax. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Visit us at aramco.biz. 31-year-old Marco Estrada comes in to pitch for Milwaukee in the last of the 6th inning.
Well, he started in the starting rotation at the beginning of the year for Ron Renneke, and now he's gone to the bullpen. Fastball, changeup, and curveball. But predominantly a fastball changeup guy. He falls in love with his changeup and has been elevating his fastball too many times. That's the reason why he's in the bullpen.
Yet another product from the San Fernando Valley. Went to Sylmar High School, Glendale Community College, and eventually to Long Beach State. Estrada. He'll face Vera Liriano and Amarista in the Padres 6th. Rivera struck out and grounded to short. Well, Jimmy Nelson didn't pitch poorly. 5 innings, allowed 4 runs, but only 2 were earned. 5 hits, 2 walks, and his brief major league career high, 7 strikeouts.
Well, you can understand why the Brewers like the young man. He's a very powerful sinker. He's refined his command. Very erratic in the strike zone. See Rick Kranitz to the right, the pitching coach, and also Ron Renneke, the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. I think the young man's going to have a real good career, but they need consistent outings.
Ground ball sharply backhanded at third by Ramirez. The long throw in time. Well struck, but for the first out. Most home runs allowed, as we mentioned earlier, leading the major leagues. Dan Heron of the Dodgers 3 behind, and John Danks of the White Sox, the most generous of the American League hurlers.
Oh, Dick, you look at that number 28, and a lot of elevated fastballs, not velocity, but he lacks movement on his fastball as well. That overhand approach, and it's a 4-seam fastball. See if the Padres can benefit from some of those.
Liriano up twice, has struck out both times. There's a curveball for a strike. 4-1 Padres. Run in the first inning on Almonte's home run, and 3 in the third. A couple of those unearned. With Almonte knocking in a run with a single. Rondal singled off the right field wall for another. And the third run of the inning scored on a Jerko ground out.
Mark Loretta down near the dugout. Reimer Liriano taking a lot of fastballs. How does he adjust to that, and what's his approach moving forward?
I think it's just a comfort level for him being up here swinging. I think you see that with a lot of young kids who come up. He's probably, not totally trusting himself right now in the box. You see him just kind of in between.
And then he strikes out again. Couldn't check a swing.
So I think he's just got to keep being aggressive and just take the doubt out, as we used to say. Easier said than done.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, you have certain expectations, and then there's a lot of thoughts that go through your mind, and then when you start struggling in the game, so many people come up with ideas of how to fix you. Well, you've had success, and you have to trust yourself and your abilities at this level, and we've seen some really good things from Liriano. Not trying to bash him, but there's a lot of things that you have to do, and you have to check those boxes off. And always remember what you do very well, and everyone at this level is able to hit the fastball.
Ground ball, nice snare by Estrada. Took that one out of center field, and Amarista's out. A 1-2-3 inning for Marco Estrada.
them in training camp. I've gotten a chance to go out and watch them several times. I think offensively, Aztec fans all want to talk about Ezel Ruffin and DJ Pumphrey, kind of the electric playmakers they have at the receiver and running back position. But for me, it's about the quarterback, and it's about Quinn Kaler. Comes out of nowhere last year, energizes that whole football team, and really that energy is still there.
And that's former Aztec quarterback Kevin O'Connell, now a college football analyst. And stay tuned after Padres Live, a special edition college football preview on SD Live here on Fox Sports San Diego. Tyson Ross into his 7th inning of work, facing the middle 3 of the Brewers order: Ramirez, Jeanette, and Davis. Ramirez has fly to center and struck out. .90 pitches for Ross. He's been efficient tonight. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. That's in there.
And he's thrown a few 2-0 sliders that have been very good pitches. You see the confidence in that slider.
Back with another out of the strike zone, but Ramirez takes a rip at it. 2-2.
So many options in this scenario. You can go back to that slider. You can throw that fastball in on his hands. Perfect scenario for Tyson Ross.
Boy, that had a lot of downward movement. Amarista charges and throws out Ramirez. 1 away in the 7th. And as promised earlier, we have the AT fan photo for you. Tweet your photo to hashtag SDFanPhoto. Chance to be shown in an upcoming game telecast brought to you by AT&T. Maureen Cobran. Mighty Mo.
Mighty Mo.
Padre fans. Scooter Jeanette grounded out and doubled in the Milwaukee run. Doubled to deep right center field in the 4th inning. I know you've heard the story, but it's worth repeating why Jeanette has taken on the nickname Scooter. Inside. He was not behaving as a little guy and wasn't using a seatbelt. So his mother said, "I'm going to take you. That's against the law. I'm going to take you to the police station." And the policeman said, "What's your name?" He said, the little kid says, "I'm Scooter." He wasn't going to use his real name if he's got a policeman staring him down.
Yeah.
And Scooter has stuck. Back in Sarasota, Florida, where he grew up. That's in there, 3-1.
Like a 3-0 slider for Tyson Ross.
Real name is Ryan Joseph Jeanette. Full count.
Yeah, R.J. Jeanette. Doesn't really sound right. Scooter Jeanette. Now that sounds right.
Pretty good Scooter preceding him that played shortstop in the old Yankees. Rizzuto. Wow. Not that big a guy, but he takes a powerful swing. 5'10", 170 pounds. Aggressive hitter, the kind you like.
Yeah, I love the approach. I'd love that down and in slider right now to put him away, though.
The 100th pitch coming up from Tyson Ross tonight. Just a little high. Second walk of the night from Ross. Chris Davis, the hitter. He has the other walk and a single. And Bud Black going to the mound. 100 pitches have been logged by Tyson Ross. It looks as if he'll finish his work right there. Bud may say, "You think you got another out or two in you?" Ross says maybe it's time to get some relief. But another quality start from Tyson Ross, 13 in a row as he extends his Padre record.
Not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Hey, Mark Sweeney, looks like your ticket is in a dancing mood tonight.
Oh, I love dancing. Batman. Actually, I'm the worst dancer possible.
Yeah, it's so easy to be self-conscious on a dance floor.
Yeah.
There's always some show off. As Nick Vincent comes in, our Drew Ford pitching change. One out. Jeanette at first base. Tyson Ross goes 6 1/3, allowed only 1 run so far, 4 hits, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts.
You see that 160 average against right-handers. That's the reason why he's coming in this situation.
Chris Davis, single and a walk. Takes upstairs, ball 1. Davis followed by Mark Reynolds. Just out of nowhere, here's Davis with 20 home runs and 65 runs batted in. That's in there.
Well, when Ryan Braun was on a suspension last year, they brought him up from the minor leagues, and he produced in left field. That's the reason why you see Ryan Braun moving to right field. And Chris Davis, as you see those numbers, 20 home runs, 65 RBIs on the season.
Padres have 91-92 with a home run by Almonte tonight. The starting lineup for the Brewers, 119 home runs. Just no place to sit down and rest if you're pitching against this lineup. And here's another man with more than 20, Mark Reynolds on deck. 2-1. Vincent working on Chris Davis. Outside, 3-1. Padres with a 4-1 lead. We're in the top of the 7th, 1 out. Jeanette at first. Vincent in relief of Tyson Ross. Ground ball to third. Solarte to Jerko. Jerko to first, a double play. Around the horn. 5-4-3. And Vincent on one pitch gets 2 outs. And that's it for the Brewers in the 7th. Oh, you gotta love the double play. Petco. Time for our Subway in-game box score with the Padres leading 4-1. Damage done by 2 hitters, Almonte and Grandal, each with a pair of hits. And a double by Tyson Ross, and scored a run.
Yeah, what a night by Abraham Almonte. Getting the party started with that solo home run. And then also Tyson Ross, not only on the pitching mound, but helping himself with that double and run.
And Nick Vincent coming in to throw the ground ball out to get out of the 7th inning. Gets a pat on the back from Tyson Ross, and Marco Estrada facing pinch hitter Will Venable. Strike 1. Venable with a pinch hit home run on Sunday in Arizona. His 6th long ball of the year. High pop up, middle of the diamond. 4 Brewers converge. The second baseman Jeanette wins the call. 1 away. Top of the order, Jan Solarte. The Padres have hit that 4-run mark, which has been magical for them in the victory column this year. 44-7 when they score 4. Leading 4-1 tonight. First pitch is in there. Solarte fouled out, flied out, and struck out. 21,706 here at Petco tonight. Hope you'll be here tomorrow night. Remember, the game is an hour earlier, not a 7:10, but a 6:10 start. We'll be on the air at 5:30 here on Fox Sports San Diego. Despaigne trying to get his game back together. 3-5 against Giovanni Gallardo. 8-7 for the Brewers. That ball dying quickly in right center. Gomez can't get there. Place it on a hat. Loop single for Solarte. Only the 6th hit of the night for San Diego.
Let's see the pitch out of Estrada. It looked like a changeup, and that's the reason why off the end of the bat by Solarte. Our phantom cam shows right off the end of the bat, and it sits nicely for Solarte in center field.
That one shook the fingernails, but he'll take it to base now.
Yeah, you saw that top hand come off the bat. Sometimes when you see that changeup, you want to keep that barrel through the baseball and release that top hand off the bat.
Abraham Almonte has been on base all 3 times. Briefly in the first inning, he circled the bases with his 2nd Padre home run for the early 1-0 lead. Dropped a single into right center to knock in a run in the 3rd. Later scored himself on Grandal's single. And he walked and stole his first Padre base the last time. One and one. Seth Smith is on deck. Tough night for Smith, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, it didn't look like he picked up Nelson very well, and that happens at times, not picking the ball up out of the pitcher's hands. Took a lot of fastballs tonight. Typically, you don't see Seth Smith do that. That's the reason why I think that probably wasn't seeing it out of the hands.
Looks like we'll see the Quackmeister in the top of the 8th. Almost threw that one away. Good play made by Reynolds. Brewers are at the start of a 3-stop road trip. They'll go up north to play the Giants for 3, and then back near home, Cubs for 3. Off the head of the bat, a change up, 1-2. Padres the weekend series with the Dodgers. Hope you made your ticket plans. Friday night, a salute to Greg Maddux and his Hall of Fame announcement this summer. Greg will be here on Friday. And of course, Trevor Hoffman, the big ceremony on Saturday as they induct him as the 9th member of the Padre Hall of Fame. Arizona then comes in on Labor Day Monday. 2-2. In case you're wondering, the other 8 members of the Padre Hall of Fame: Buzzy Bavasi, Nate Colbert, Jerry Coleman, Tony Gwynn, Randy Jones, Ray Kroc, Dick Williams, and Dave Winfield. That's a real taste of Padre history there. That line.
Exactly right. Should be a great night Saturday night. I'm excited for number 51. The ultimate professional. The way he went about his business. Obviously his stats indicate how great he was.
Stepping stone, the Padre Hall of Fame into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
No doubt about it.
Finished his career in a Milwaukee uniform. Nine saves with the Brewers in his final year. So give him 601. With the Padres, 552 big saves.
And he did it with class at big moments. And the ultimate teammate and the ultimate example out on the field.
Got him. Another changeup. Estrada using a lot of off-speed pitches here in the 7th inning. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, yesterday's game was not very good, and the Padres come out and they were on fire, especially with Almonte's home run leading the charge. And Ross delivers tonight. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, only 2 walks.
Just might as well under his number put consistency, reliability, quality. Tyson Ross.
When he's starting, I think guys coming into that locker room have that expectation of winning every night now.
Padres need 6 more outs and secure Ross's 12th win of the year. One strike to Seth Smith. Velarde at first with 2 outs. Rondal next, and then Turco in the hole.
Now, you heard Bud Black talking before the game today, and he said, I love how Tyson Ross works in between starts. It sets him up to be that strong going out every time. And you have expectations that guys are going to do that, but for Tyson Ross to understand how important it is in between starts and maintain that confidence that he has shown on the mound goes a long way. That's the reason why they're falling in love with this young man every time he goes out there and starts.
Up and in, 1-1. Well, San Francisco Giants lefty Bumgarner had a perfect game into the 8th inning against Colorado. Justin Morneau has just doubled. Giants are leading that 2-0, but through 7 innings, Madison Bumgarner with a perfect game. Off the head of the bat, nubbed out to the mound, and Estrada takes care of Smith. And that's it for the Padres in the 7th. On to the 8th, 4-1 for the home side.
Pomeranz working on Padres Live, the post-game show brought to you by Cox Communications. Good enough outing by Tyson Ross, and now you think the Padres have the Brewers right where they want them.
Absolutely, this is right where they want them. Like you said, Mike, they got Quackenbush here and then Benoit to finish it up. So good night to get to this point. Tyson Ross gave him 6 solid innings. Enough offense. This is the recipe for a win for the Padres.
When we see after the final out, we'll talk about everything that happens on the field. You'll hear from the manager, Buddy Black. We're going to speak with Abraham Almonte and Rene Rivera perhaps as well. And Scott Miller, the Fox Sports San Diego MLB insider, is going to be with us. He'll tell us about the Padres Hall of Fame and the Trevor Hoffman induction ceremony coming up on Saturday. And, folks, you got to stick around because he's got some inside information from Bud Selig on the Padres' chances of hosting an all-star game. So we'll have all that for you and more coming up after Kevin Quackenbush and the Padres put the Brewers to bed for the night.
Well, that sounds like a big Padres Live post-game show. We'll be with you, Mike and Mark. Stay tuned, fans, as we go to the top of the 8th inning and Kevin Quackenbush comes in to work the bottom third of the order. Reynolds, Segura, and then a pinch hitter for the pitcher Nelson, or actually Estrada now the pitcher. Venable comes into the game in center. Almonte moves to left, and Seth Smith takes a seat on the bench. Quackenbush works to Mark Reynolds, flied out twice to left field. Ball 1.
The tale of the 2 last appearances for Kevin Quackenbush. Got his first save up in Los Angeles, then went to Arizona and gave up a 3-run home run to Didi Gregorius. Those were back-to-back appearances. Let's see how he responds to this one.
Another high pop-up off the bat of Reynolds. That'll make it into the crowd behind home plate. All or nothing swinger, Reynolds. Big time power, high frequency strikeout. Going after the high limb. Play. Reynolds led the National League in strikeouts 4 straight years. 204, 223,
wow,
211, and 196. So averaging over 200 strikeouts.
I would have taken 223 at bats.
But in those years, he had a lot of home runs as well. 28, 44, 32, and 37. Feast or famine hitter. You can excuse the strikeouts when you hit a lot of home runs. It's when
exactly
you strike
right.
out a lot and you don't home run. You become a liability. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Dick, you've seen a lot of those platoon areas that a lot of teams are implementing. Oakland A's are doing that. Let's see the Milwaukee Brewers. Talked about second base with Ricky Weeks and Scooter Gennett. Also at first base, Mark Reynolds, Lyle Overbay. So saw Lou Croy play first base last night.
2-2. Got him. Check swing, goes around. Quackenbush strikes out the first batter he faces. That'll bring up Gene Segura. And let's go down to Chris Budden. Chris, what do you have for us?
Well, Kevin Quackenbush has built quite the fan base here at Petco Park. I ran into some fans pregame that brought in some duck callers to use in the 8th inning. A little quack, quack for the quack attack.
I love it. Quack, quack is right.
And he likes it too. On deck is Lyle Overbay, leading pinch hitter for this Milwaukee team. Came into the game last night and singled and scored. One and one. Quackenbush has a beloved canine, his German Shepherd, named it after a baseball pitcher. German Shepherd answers to Tug.
Oh. 1-0.
Boy, just reaches out and punches that one to center field. Segura for his second hit tonight. One away, and he's aboard for the pinch hitter Overbay. Overbay, 22, or actually 20. This is his 22nd pinch hit at bat. He's 10 for 21 with a home run and 7 runs batted in. So that would place him top of the ladder as pinch hitters go in the National League.
Well, he's at 54 starts at first base, so he has a base of at bats. But having that veteran presence off the bench for Ron Renneke, that's a benefit moving forward for this club.
One out, one on. Padres by 3 here in the 8th inning. Overbay, like the man that preceded him, Mark Reynolds, was a non-roster player in the spring. Both these veterans finding a home and coming up to Milwaukee. When we were in Milwaukee, he had just celebrated the birth of his 5th child, he and his wife Audrey. University of Nevada, Reno. Foul tip. 2-1. Second time around for Overbay as Dale Thayer loosens up. Went from Arizona to Milwaukee for a couple of years, 2004, 2005. Arizona, Milwaukee, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Arizona again, Atlanta, Yankees, and Milwaukee for the second trip. That's in there. Fastball 2-2. .37 years young, Overbay. Got him. Tied him up inside. 2 strikeouts for Quackenbush here in the 8th.
Yeah, this had some cutting action to it. You could see it boring in on the hands of Overbay with that awkward swing. Painting those fastballs on the outside edge, and then had that cutting action on that last pitch.
Top of the order, Carlos Gomez 0 for 3 with a couple of punch outs tonight. Tyson Ross struck him out twice and retired him on a comebacker the other time. Struck out more than any Brewer, 122 times, but a .289 hitter, tied with Reynolds and the club lead home runs with 21. A remarkable number of RBIs for a leadoff man, 64.
Well, he did hit third for a little bit for Ron Renneke, and then they put him back, that presence at the leadoff position.
0-2. Never shortchanged on his swings.
Now, that's not a leadoff hitter approach that you typically see in the game of baseball.
I like the fact when he struck out the last time on a evil slider from Ross that he gave a big smile, almost tipped his hat to Tyson.
That's exactly right.
There's a lot of joy in his game. A little too much mustard on the hot dog earlier in his career, but he's settled down. He's just showing he loves to play.
Yeah, he loves the game of baseball.
1-2.
You know, it's one of those players that you hate playing against him, but when you talk to the teammates down there in the dugout for the Milwaukee Brewers, they embrace the way he plays the game.
to that outside corner. Plate umpire Alfonso Marquez says nope. That's ball 2. Reckon pitch away, and that was wide.
Yeah, number 4 out there. That's off the plate.
Looking for a chance to strike out the side, Quackenbush. And so it is, and down goes Gomez for the 3rd time tonight. Quackenbush strikes out Reynolds, Overbay, and Gomez. Gives up a single. The Padres come up bottom of the 8th inning, leading by 3. Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Petco, the power of together, and by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Gaslamp District in our beautiful city. Fans after the game enjoy post-game conversations over a libation. 21,706 with us on this Tuesday night. Tom Gorzolani, the veteran left-hander, comes out of the bullpen.
Got the 3rd left-hander in Ron Renicke's bullpen, and you can see high average against lefties, but good against the right-handers, and has a lot to do with the changeup from Gorzolani.
And how about our San Diego fans of the game? Having a good time. Constant movement. Stand right to the very end as the Padres with a 4-1 lead. And Grandal, Jerko, and Rivera to bat here in the last of the 8th. It was Abraham Almonte's solo home run in the 1st inning that got the Padres off on the right foot tonight. They scored 3 more, 2 of them unearned in the 3rd. In support of Tyson Ross, only a pair of doubles back in the 4th inning, ruining a possible shutout for the big right-hander. Hitting right-handed for the first time tonight, Grandal. 2 singles, one of them off the right field wall. Drove in a run in the 3rd. Strike 1. Gorzolani doesn't overpower you.
Oh, he averages 90 miles an hour, so it's not velocity. It has to be location. And trying to set up that changeup, which he loves to throw.
Right back to the mound on a changeup, and 1 away. Jed Jerko 0 for 3 with the RBI groundout back in the 3rd. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, apparently it'll be Joaquin Benoit seeking his 9th save of the year. Lucroy, Braun, Ramirez, anyone gets on Jeanette, scheduled for Milwaukee. There's Benoit taking over from Houston Street in that closer role. There are the numbers against the men he's expected to face. 1 for 9. Change up to Jerko.
So many conversations this coaching staff has with Almonte and Dave Roberts, the bench coach.
That one will sail into the crowd down the right field side.
Constant teaching in the game of baseball, and Almonte is one of those guys that has to be talked to about both defense, offensively, and you can see him tonight. Made a huge impact on this game tonight.
Almonte and Solarte sharing a common position, check swing foul, in that their teams gave up on them. You know, you can sell that to them. Solarte from the Yankees, Almonte from Seattle. Here's a second life, a second chance. We love you here. We want you to do well.
Yes, and it's an opportunity. Dave Roberts and his staff trying to prepare these young men to go out there and battle and produce at the big league level.
1-2 to Jerko. Going to be a lot of moves made by the Padres in the offseason. Of course, a lot coming up on September 1st, next Monday, when the rosters expand to 40.
Well, you're in constant evaluation when you're in this mode like the Padres are. And I believe you're getting evaluated every single day. There's Bud Black, the manager, looking on and seeing who's going to go to battle with him on an every night basis.
Been a lot of heavy duty meetings. A.J. Preller and scouts judging talent this week here at Petco Park. Basis for decisions, big decisions that would be made in the offseason. I have a feeling this new ownership, they're not content with the losing season. They're going to be willing to make a major deal if it's out there in the off year.
Well, they've shown they're not content with that. Making the moves they've made already.
Full count to Jerko.
If you're a Padre fan, the expectations are very high, and they should be. It's all about wins and losses at this level, and you don't want to get yourself in a position where you're doing the same thing over and over again.
And a walk to Jerko with one away. That'll bring up Rene Rivera.
There's Andrew Kashner looking on. He's already had a start off of the disabled list, and he is a big piece moving forward, along with Tyson Ross, Ian Kennedy.
In September, we expect to see Robbie Erlin come back, the left-hander who has missed most of the year on the DL. Rene has struck out, grounded to short, and a hard smash to third. But Ramirez threw him out the last time. Big hole on the right side. Line drive up the middle. That'll do it. Ground ball to the center fielder. Padres with a couple of men on against Orsolani here in the 8th inning as Jerko pulls up at second.
Oh, what a hot smash by Rene Rivera. Just getting an elevated fastball in the strike zone. Watch this approach. You got the leg kick. You get that foot down early. Beautiful swing, taking the barrel through the baseball, and that is an absolute laser to center field.
Boy, you have to applaud Rene Rivera's career and how he stayed with it. 30 years of age. Battled his way a few times up in the big leagues with Seattle and Minnesota, but really never a regular. Always considered a backup catcher, a AAA catcher. Well, he's proven this year he belongs in the big leagues. Not only defensively, but his bat has been okay.
Exactly, and they've done a nice job with him in his approach at the plate. Very aggressive, but now he's in a position where he trusts his ability, trusts his work.
Pitchers love working with him. Liriano up 3 times, has struck out all 3 at bats. 1-1.
A nice block by Lucroy.
It's a big at bat for Liriano. He needs to come up with something here. Tough night to go into that dugout with a 4 strikeout collar. Two on, 1 away. Padres trying to add to the 4-1 lead. Foul back. You can have all the physical talent in the world. Boy, this game makes you overthink.
It's how you clear your mind, clear your thoughts, and that comes with a lot of experience. Phil Plantier to the left, Bud Black to the right, discussing.
Pops him up. Shallow and right, a long run for Braun. And he makes the catch. 2 away. And Amarista 0 for 3, the hitter. Fouled out, flied out, tapped to the mound. The Padres should score a run here. Dale Thayer is also warming up. He might come in to work the 9th. If they don't, it'll be Benoit in a save situation. Curveball misses. So they're staying loose as well. Four runs, 7 hits for the Padres. 1 run, 5 hits for Milwaukee. Another curveball missing. 2-0.
No, nice take by Alexi. That sweeping breaking ball.
Venables on deck in the 9th slot in the batting order. Perfect angle. Amarista posing. That one flipped foul. Again tomorrow night, our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego is 5:30. Despaigne goes against Gallardo. A 6:10 start, an hour earlier. There's going to be 3 more of those into September. Gives the Brewers an hour jump start on going up to San Francisco. That's right down the middle, 2-2 with a fastball. Giovanni Gallardo, not only a big arm, but he carries a big bat. He can hit. Memory serves me, he has 12 career home runs. There's Despaigne, will go against Gallardo. In the dirt. Good stop by Lucroy. Cardinals staying up late in the Midwest to see how this one comes out. They've won, or they've lost rather, excuse me. Trying to stay within 1.5 of Milwaukee. Might have a few fans rooting for the Padres. Runners go, and swung at ball 4. Another curveball. Jerko back to second. Rivera to first.
Crowd trying to energize Alexi Amarista on a 3-2 count, 2 outs.
Ball 4. Bases are loaded. Couple of walks from Gorzolani. Jerko moves to third. Rivera to second. And Amarista joins him. And here's Will Venable. And Rick Krantz, the pitching coach, goes to the mound. Oh, well, we have a moment here to celebrate our own profession as we work in this wonderful medium of television. On this date in 1939, the first telecast of a Major League Baseball game, a doubleheader at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn between the Reds and the Dodgers, and the immortal voice of Red Barber called it on TV.
Nice.
1939. And I'm sure at the time there were a lot of folks said that'll never work.
I think the cameras have changed a little bit, huh?
Just a little.
Did they have Phantom Cam on that game?
I think they probably were lucky to have 2 cameras. One by home plate and somebody roaming around with the other. Venable takes a strike. Popped to second his first time. Chance to give the Padres a big lead here. They have a 4-1 advantage. Bases full.
Let's see him shoot a gap and watch Alexi run.
Breaking ball misses. 1-1. Also on this date, the Brewers' Paul Molitor in 1987 went 0 for 4, ending a 39-game hitting streak. Wow. That was the longest hitting streak in the American League since Joe DiMaggio in 41.
He could absolutely rake.
Strike. 1-2. See, Venable puckering at taking that pitch. That was hittable. 1-2. Right there. And he bends that one outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It seems to me that Gorzolani is going to be commanding that outside part of the plate. So look fastball outside and try to react in. The velocity's not there. And look out over the plate. If he hangs that breaking ball, you're in perfect position.
Whoa, watch out. A wicked line drive up into the second deck. Little late pulling the trigger. Ball was high and in.
So many things, a different terminology. Some hitting coaches told me to shift the field. Look that left center approach. Look out over the plate. Look left center so you're able to handle the breaking ball.
Make you wait just a little longer.
Just a little longer.
Again, the 2-2 pitch. Foul tip. Strike 3 into the glove of Lucroy, and down goes Venable, and the Padres leave 3. And welcome back. Top of the 9th inning, and Joaquin Benoit comes in out of the bullpen. to face Lucroy, Braun, and Ramirez. Padres leading 4-1. Law had 24 saves last year with the Tigers, looking for number 9 as a Padre.
Well, the Padre closer holding opponents' average to 161, 134 here at Petco Park.
60 strikeouts in a little over 50 innings. But he's got 3 challenging hitters awaiting in that Brewer lineup with Lucroy, Braun, Ramirez. Anyone gets on, Scooter Gennett. Let's go to our Bill Howe play of the game, and it came early. First inning, 1 out, and Abraham Almonte against Jimmy Nelson found the sweet spot and delivered it just over the jack track in right field for his second Padre home run. Kickoff a 1-0 lead. The Padres added 3 more in the third. The only run for the Brewers, a doubles by Lucroy and Gennett in the fourth off Tyson Ross. That's where we stand, 4-1. Lucroy, a couple of fly balls and a double to right field. All-star catcher for the Brewers. 44 doubles this year. In the dirt, 1-1. Changeup. Keane, now 37 years of age. Lays that one in the middle of the plate. Lucroy hits it high, not long enough. Almonte with a catch, 1 away. Change up. And a reminder again, tomorrow we hope you'll join us here on Fox Sports San Diego. And here's the pitching matchup.
You can see Espana having to come back, and Yabani Gallardo, that ace in the making before, and now his stuff has really slipped in, but he's pitching very well on the road. But very important start for Espana tomorrow.
After a very impressive start, the 27-year-old Cuban is starting to figure out his various slants and speeds. Now 3-5 on the season. Here's Braun, 2 strikeouts and a ground out facing Tyson Ross. Brewer leader in RBIs with 74. Good slider.
That was out of the hands. It looks like that fastball that's darting down and sinking. It goes the other way.
Right field, Liriano into the Petco porch corner to make the catch. 2 away. Fire mascot ready to wave the victory flag as Aramis Ramirez comes up. Ramirez, 3 hits last night, single, double, and home run, and 3 RBIs held in check tonight. Fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. Change up, ball 1. It's part of this wonderful game. You score 10 runs and 16 hits one night. In the next game, 1 run and 4 hits.
Well, you got to forget that what happened yesterday, and that's exactly what the Padres did.
Over but low, 2-0.
And they came out swinging today. Almonte, 2 hits, 2 runs scored, and also a stolen base after a walk.
Grandal, a couple of hits and an RBI. Line foul. Nice play, one-handed by the gentleman in the white T-shirt. Can I have the ball, please? I said please. Oh, he's got another little lady there. I guess that's the whole family, huh? Lucky man with 3 daughters.
Looks like everyone's got a ball down there.
That's the souvenir corner. If you want to get a baseball, that's where you want to buy a seat. 2-1. Low and inside, Rivera's sign. High in the air. On the infield. Churko has the final out, and the Padres answer last night's 10-1 Milwaukee win. The score tonight, San Diego 4, Milwaukee 1. Padres Live, the postgame show. Here's Mike Pomerantz.
Nick, thank you very much. A lot to cover here on the postgame show. Hope you're going to stick around. Fox Sports San Diego MLB Inside is going to be with us, and he's going to talk about Trevor Hoffman going into the Padres Hall of Fame.